And welcome back to Pokemon Team Videos. Today's Pokemon Team video comes to us from Mr. John. Mr. John No Home. It's funny, my dad's name's John. So it's like, but Mr. John No Home. But Mr. John asks, what is Luna Louds from the Loud House's Pokemon team? Look, this is a show I don't watch because this came out well after the time I was watching mainstay cartoons. I mean, this is like recent, one of the last like 5 years type of show. So this is, as far as I know, Loud House is like within the last, I'll check that real quick. When was Loud House? The Loud House, okay, came out in, 2015. Yeah, okay, I was almost right, but within the last 7 years. But the Loud House 2015 apparently ongoing. Like, is it still a show that's on making new seasons? If so, great, good for him. It's hard to keep a show going. Yeah, going on for 7 years now. Okay. But not only is it a show that I'm not aware of, when I looked up what this character is like, I quickly came to the conclusion that it's like, she likes rock. She's a rocker. She has an interest in a romantic interest in someone. That can't do anything with that. Yeah, this is really just a girl who's a rocker. So, let's go with that. What would be, a Pokemon team for a rocker? So right out the gate, Toxtricity. Toxtricity is basically a punk rocker that can also learn like Boomburst, which I love Boomburst as an attack. But I think I'd actually give her two, one low-key and one, amped version to really represent the, first off, duality between guitars, but also to represent her personality. She's not always on. She's, she can feel, down in the dumps like anyone else can, as far as I can tell. So, yeah, I would definitely put these two on the team. Then you need your guitar player, and there's only one guitar playing Pokemon right now. That's Rillaboom. Rillaboom is the guitar. He literally has a drum player. He literally carries a drum with him. Rillaboom was by far my favorite of the three. I'm glad I went with Grookey. Rillaboom, I think, is actually a really good design. The other two, but yeah, after that though, it's like there's not many other Pokemon that act as instruments. With Scarlet and Violet coming out late in the year or sometime in November, we're getting a Spanish region, so it's very possible we'll get another musically inclined Pokemon. Music's very big over there, guitarist of some kind, who knows. But now I'm like, okay, what else can I do? Well, we could also go with the singing aspect of rock, because I'm sure she also sings and is perfectly good with it. And we have a Pokemon that is specifically designed around singing. Granted, Meloetta is more of like arias and operatic, but she has a fighting type form, which you could make an argument leans itself more towards the rock aspect of things, because it's just, more brutal, more gruff. But either way, Meloetta is literally a Pokemon designed for singing, and the fact it's a female Pokemon helps out as well. Even though I don't think, I looked up Meloetta, but hold on. Is Meloetta a genderless? It's a mythical, so I want to be sure. Is it genderless, or is it just like always female? Okay, so it is genderless, actually. It just has the appearance of a female. Fair enough. And then obviously we have I felt another song Pokemon was needed. So I'm like, okay, what Pokemon can learn sing? And I'm like, all right, Primarina. Get 2 stars on the team. That's cool. Primarina, I think, works. Again, it's a female-looking Pokemon at any rate. Not that it really matters. Like, it doesn't matter if the Rillaboom or the 2 Toxtricities are female. It's just, she's a girl. So if she's got female Pokemon on the team, great. If not, doesn't matter. It just helps lend itself a little bit more there. It was the last Pokemon I actually had an issue figuring out, because I'm like, what else would a rocker have on their team? There's not much I could say I could add to her team that represent the fact she's a young woman or anything like that, because any character to have that, and that's a number of Pokemon then. It's going to be something that at least works for her. And I'm like, well, okay, is there any Pokemon that's an instrument? Because that's something, when you think about it, we don't have yet, is a Pokemon literally based on an instrument. There's no flute, drum. I mean, there's Pokemon that carry those instruments, but there's no flute, guitar, drum, violin. even though Kricketune is technically based off a bit of a violin. Violin, trombone, trumpet, any of those instruments, there's nothing. We don't have instrument-based Pokemon. Is there anything close to that, though? I'm like, well, okay, bear with me on this one. Klefki. Now, why Klefki? Well, Klefki, first off, can jingle jangle and keys. Can say, look at the keys. Keys can, in fact, be instruments in their own right. But I don't know. In fact, it's a steel type, which lends itself more towards being able to make noise on its own. And it's the keys themselves can actually act, if you think about it, as guitar picks. If at any point she's playing guitar and she loses the pick and she's on stage and Klefki's there's like, Klefki, help me out, buddy. And Klefki just because the Klefki's ring detaches. Now, it's not very not seen very often, but that ring actually detaches. That's how the rings actually get attached on there. And tosses her one of the keys, like a spare key or like a spare guitar pick that's on a key, and she just starts rocking again with that. I can see her having a Klefki. Actually, I think that would actually work out pretty well. And Klefki itself can be used in some fashion as an instrument. So I think that kind of works. But that is just my opinion. Maybe I'm dead wrong on that. I think the rest of this, though, is pretty sound for like a rocker type trainer overall. But what do you think? What do you think her? I mean, I could have given her a Dusclops or Duskull to represent a little skull on her shirt there, but that's like reaching. That's really reaching that. I was at least trying to make sense of this. Like, well, she gets a Duskull because skull shirt. No, it's like giving the Punisher a Duskull or like a Cubone because he's got a skull in his shirt. That makes no sense. Unless I really have to just be like, oh god, I can't think of anything else. Okay, Scott Skull. But no, that's Luna Lad's Pokemon team for Rocker. Two Toxtricities, one low key, one amp. Meloetta, Primarina to represent singing, Rillaboom to represent drumming, and then Klefki to represent musical. The music of like the steel, like instruments, all that, but also being like her spare guitar picks. So I kind of like that idea, at least with the Klefki. The rest of them, I think is fine. The Meloetta and the Primarina, I think, are pretty interchangeable in terms of a Pokemon that can sing, either knowing song moves or that it sings. But either way, yeah, that's my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.